As I sat by the window, watching the golden hues of the sunset paint the sky, I couldn't help but ponder the mysteries of life and fate. The concept of the law of attraction has always fascinated me, with its promise that our thoughts and feelings could shape our reality. Yet, I wondered how this idea could fit within my Christian faith. Could this seemingly New Age idea resonate with the teachings of the Bible? As I delved deeper into Scripture, I began to see a harmonious connection between the two. Many Christians, physicists, and metaphysics experts argue and contradict each other that the law of attraction and the teachings of the Bible don't go along. Whereas Christian theologies believe that our destiny depends only on the mercy of God. They think that the New Age is trying to remove God in the scene, while physicists and metaphysics claim that we can reshape and recreate our reality using the power of our thoughts and beliefs. But I will say, both of them are right and wrong. The first revelation came to me through the words of Proverbs 23 verse 7, "For as he think in his heart, so is he." It was a profound moment, realizing that the Bible had long recognized the power of our thoughts. Our inner dialogue shapes our identity and, ultimately, our reality. Negative thoughts can lead us down a path of despair, while positive, faith-filled thinking can align us with God's blessings. The more we think of the negative, the more we attract negative into our lives. On the other hand, the more we think of positive, it magnetizes more of it, eventually erases all negatives. Paul's advice to the Philippians echoed in my mind when he said, "Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things." Philippians 4 verse 8. I realized that focusing on the good and the noble not only uplifted my spirit but also opened the door to God's grace. As I meditated on these thoughts, I remember Psalm 82 verse 6, where it is written, "I said, you are God's, and all of you are children of the Most High." This verse struck a chord deep within me. Being a child of God meant I possess inherent divine qualities, a concept resonating with the idea that we have the power to manifest our reality through faith and belief. We are truly God's, but not in the sense that we can do anything and have anything without consequences. Rather, it tells us that we are God's only with our domain, for we are created above all other creatures of this world, but not equal to God. Jesus' teachings came to life in my heart. In Mark 11 verse 24 he said, "Therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you will have them." It was a moment of clarity. Jesus was teaching the very essence of the law of attraction. Believing in the fulfillment of our desires, even before they manifest, is a powerful act of faith. However, it became clear to me that belief and positive thinking alone were not enough, for there are many law of attraction practitioners often fail to achieve their desired reality because they fail to balance their belief and faith in God. The Bible emphasizes the crucial role of prayer in strengthening our faith and aligning our desires with God's will. Philippians 4 verse 6 to 7 resonated with this truth. "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understandings, will guard your heart and mind through Christ Jesus." Prayer became my way of communicating with God, expressing my desires, and reinforcing my belief in His power to provide. James 5 verse 16 reminded me that the effective fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. Through fervent prayer, I not only strengthened my faith but also invited God's intervention in my life, ensuring that my desires aligned with His divine plan. As I reflected on these insights, I understood a crucial aspect of the law of attraction that needed harmonizing with my fate. Divine timing. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1, reassured me, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." This verse comforted me, reminding me that while I may have desires and aspirations, their manifestations would occur in God's perfect timing. Romans 8, verse 28 echoed this truth. "And we know that all things works together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to His purpose." Trusting in God's plan and timing, I found peace in knowing that my desires would manifest in the way that was best for me, according to His divine purpose. Believing in the law of attraction without God is like believing that you can pick a rock and turn it into gold. Sitting by the window, the sunset casting a serene glow, I felt a deep sense of harmony. The law of attraction and biblical teachings were not at odds. They complemented each other beautifully. By believing in my divine potential, expressing my desires through prayer, and trusting in God's perfect timing, I was aligning myself with His will and inviting His blessings into my life. As I navigated my spiritual journey, I held into the truth that all my desires would be granted by God in His perfect timing, through faith and fervent prayer. The path ahead seems clearer, bathed in the light of divine wisdom and love. Did you know that when God created each single one of us, He already prepared our gifts of abundance and prosperity? Meaning that we are all bound to become prosperous and abundant. But it's our responsibility to harness them as we grow. Imagine God placing a man in a large jungle teeming with life. This jungle has trees and vegetations offering fruits and shelter, bodies of water filled with fish, and green pastures where birds and animals thrive. God has provided everything needed for a survival and prosperity, but He won't hand us the tools or perform the task for us. Instead, He gives us the raw materials and the capacity to use them. In this scenario, God won't make a fishing rod, harvest fruits, or bring animals to us for a meal. These tasks require our efforts and ingenuity. We must observe the environment, learn how to craft tools, identify edible plants, and understand animals' behavior to hunt or fish. The resources are there, but accessing them depends on our actions. This analogy extends to our broader lives. God has created a world rich in potential and opportunities. If we seek prosperity and abundance, we need to actively engage with what's around us. We must identify our strength, develop skills, and make use of available resources. Just as the man in the jungle learned to fish and gather food, we must find our paths to success and fulfillment. Ultimately, God's gift is the abundance of the world itself, but we must uncover and utilize these gifts through our efforts. The journey to prosperity requires us to work, learn, and grow, transforming the potentials around us into reality. If you are aspiring to become a millionaire, first, learn to think like one. We will experience hurdles and hardships to teach us to be wiser and stronger, to live onto a higher stage of life. God knows when we are ready, and in His timing, He will open the door of abundance and prosperity for us. To clarify, believing, praying, and trusting God for a prosperous life goes beyond the principles of the law of attraction. God won't simply rain money down upon us. Although anything is possible, the outcome might not be beneficial. Take the story of Sarah, a single mom working 2 jobs. She dreamed of a life beyond cramped apartments and endless bills. One fateful day, Sarah's dream seems to materialize as she held a winning lottery ticket worth $1 million. The numbers dance on the screen, matching those on her ticket, promising an escape from her financial struggles. Overnight, Sarah was thrust into a world of luxury. She bought a sprawling mansion, gleaming cars, and designer clothes. Sarah's humble roots were quickly overshadowed by her newfound extravagance. She threw lavish parties, eager to share her wealth with friends and relatives. However, Sarah's inexperience with managing such a large sum of money began to show. She trusted the wrong people, made poor investments, and continued to spend without regards for the future. Within a few short years, the money dwindled away, the mansions were sold, the cars repossessed, and Sarah found herself back where she started, now burdened with a heart full of regret. Similarly, John, a quiet librarian, received an unexpected windfall when his distant uncle, a reclusive millionaire, passed away. Inheriting a vast fortune, John was catapulted from a modest life into one unimaginable wealth. Naive and unprepared, he fell into the trap of opulence. His library job, once his passion, was abandoned. He traveled the world, indulging in the finest things money could buy. He surrounded himself with people who were more interested in his money than his friendship. John's generosity knew no bounds, and he lavished gifts upon those who flattered him, mistaking their greed for genuine affection. In less than a decade, his inheritance was squandered. The final blow came when a series of bad investments left him in debt. John, who once walked among books and knowledge, was now navigating a harsh world of financial ruin. These stories are not just isolated incidents but a common thread among many who stumbles upon sudden wealth. Without the knowledge or experience to manage their newfound fortunes, they fall victims to their own desires and the unscrupulous intentions of others. The lack of financial literacy and understanding of sustainable living leads them down a path where their blessings turn into curses. In the end, Sarah and John's story serves as a poignant reminder that wealth without wisdom can lead to ruin. Once bright with the promise of abundance, their lives were dimmed by the shadows of mismanagement and excess. Reflecting on the parable of the prodigal son, as told by Jesus in Luke 15, verse 11 to 32, we encounter a profound lesson. In the story, a young man, one of the sons of a wealthy father, demands his inheritance prematurely. He then leaves his father's house and squanders his fortune through extravagant living. Night after night, he throws lavish parties, reveling with his friends. However, his youthful ignorance of financial management soon leads to complete depletion of his wealth. Reduced to poverty, he takes a job feeding pigs, and in his desperation, even eats the food meant for the animals. This narrative imparts a timeless truth. True wealth is not measured by the abundance of possessions but by the wisdom and prudence with which one manages what they have. Regardless of its quantity, the parable highlights that receiving prosperity without the maturity to handle it can lead to one's downfall. Thus, it is not merely the possession of riches that matters, but the readiness and capability to steward them wisely. Now let us look at this from a different perspective. Imagine a world where the defining factor between living in a scarcity and achieving wealth isn't education or financial inheritance. The power of one's mindset, the ability to conquer fears, and a profound faith in divine guidance. Being created in God's image and likeness means we are endowed with creativity. We should harness this creativity to achieve prosperity. This doesn't necessarily require hard labor or exhausting work under the sun. God also endowed us with the capacity to think and innovate, allowing us to create ways to generate income and wealth without physical strain. Consider the story of Richard Branson, the iconic founder of the Virgin Groups. Richard's journey to success wasn't paved with the traditional markers of privilege. He struggled with dyslexia and left school early, yet he harbored an entrepreneurial spirit and an unwavering belief in his ability. This story exemplifies a critical truth. It's not about what you lack, but about the mindset you cultivate and the faith you hold. This idea deeply rooted in the concept of a growth mindset, a term popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. Individuals with growth mindset believe that the abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This perspective fosters resilience, willingness to learn from failures, and continuous drive for improvement. In contrast, those with a fixed mindset set their abilities as static and unchangeable, leading to a fear of failure, avoidance of challenges, and reluctance to exert effort. It's clear that a growth mindset can propel people towards success, regardless of their starting point. Self-belief and confidence are also paramount. Many successful people attribute the achievements of their confidence and risk-taking, even when they lack formal education or initial capital. This belief in oneself fuels the courage to pursue opportunities and persist through obstacles. Positive thinking and vision further enhance this drive, leading to proactive behavior and sound decision-making. Consider the role of fear. The fear of failure can be paralyzing, stopping people from taking essential risk. However, those who view failure as a learning opportunity often find themselves innovating and ultimately succeeding. Similarly, the fear of rejection can prevent individuals from seeking help, pitching ideas, or pursuing opportunities. Overcoming this fear can open up a new possibilities and network crucial for financial success. Additionally, comfort zone can be deceptively limiting. People who challenge themselves and step beyond their comfort zones often discover new opportunities and achieve remarkable success. The willingness to venture into the unknown can lead to a significant personal and financial growth. Real-world examples abound. Beyond Richard Branson, many artists, musicians, and athletes have achieved wealth despite lacking formal education. Their success stories are often rooted in relentless practice, a belief in their talents, and the courage to follow their dreams. A critical element in this narrative is faith. Many believe that God helps those who are willing to find their way to financial freedom, who have faith in Him, and who trust Him to guide them no matter the circumstances. This faith can provide the strength and courage needed to persevere through difficult times, fostering a sense of hope and purpose that is essential for success. Ultimately, the narrative of success is not solely about having the right education or financial background. It's about cultivating a mindset of growth, believing in oneself, holding faith in divine guidance, and bravely confronting fears. While these psychological and spiritual factors are powerful, a holistic approach to reducing poverty and scarcity must also consider and address the systemic barriers that individuals face. As an abstract concept, luck doesn't selectively choose its recipient based on their character or circumstances. Imagine throwing a bundle of $10,000 from the top of a building during a crowded parade. The money will fall randomly, potentially landing with anyone, regardless of whether they are kind-hearted or malevolent, wealthy or impoverished. This randomness illustrates that luck is, in its simplest form, is impartial and unpredictable. However, there is a belief that luck can be influenced by one's energy and mindset. This perspective suggests that individuals who emit strong positive vibrations through optimism, faith, and proactive attitudes are more likely to attract favorable outcome. It's like being a magnet. The more powerful your belief and positive energy, the stronger your ability to draw luck into your life. This idea aligns with the principle found in various philosophical and metaphysical teachings, where a positive mindset is seen as a catalyst for attracting good fortune and opportunities. If you constantly and consistently speak positively and release it into the universe will mirror this back to you 7 times. But then always remember that God created the universe and everything in it. Therefore, He is the God of the universe. Thank you so much once again, my RPXers, for watching these till the end. Watch my other video explaining how the law of attraction works and how to enhance our skills and ability using quantum jumping. Until next time, goodbye.